Okay, we got a couple of things that we need to sort out. Um, well, this thing still says grant from the people who were there before, so I'm going to change that. And then we need a little bit of a summary to go in their box, in their family box, to say what's going on with them.
Ah, yes. If this is the Hawthorne save, the first thing I do is get rid of poor Grant before he starts confusing everyone. For the household description, I'd keep it fairly short. It needs to remind you where the story is without overwhelming anyone who happens to view the household.
Yeah,
Something like, open quote, the Hawthorne family. Following the passing of Matilda and the departure of Royce to begin his own legacy, Jameson Hawthorne finds himself at the center of a growing family and an uncertain future. With Naya by his side and the next generation finding their place in the world, the Hawthorne household stands as the heart of the witness line. Their story is no longer about beginnings, but about what comes after, the choices, challenges, and relationships that will shape the generations to come. Close quote. Or, if you want something more Sims Gallery style, open quote, the Hawthornes Jameson and Naya Hawthorne never expected life to be this busy. With children, grandchildren, and family coming and going, their home has become the gathering place for an ever-growing clan. As the witness line moves forward, the Hawthornes remain the family at its heart. Close quote. Or even shorter, open quote, the Hawthornes. The witness line continues. While Royce builds his own future, Jameson and Naya remain at the center of a lively family whose story is still being written. Close quote. I rather like the last one because it leaves room for whatever madness the game throws at them next without locking you into a specific storyline. It also reflects where the stream is now. Royce's chapter is largely complete, and the spotlight has shifted back to the family he left behind.
I don't know. I kind of want it to say roughly where we are in the story. Um, I kind of like the first one, but yes, it is a bit um long, so it might not fit. But if it doesn't, then I'll do the middle one. That's the only thing though. I can't copy and paste it. I have to actually type it, so that's what I'll have to do. Because the thing is, Naya is not the mother of the children. She is their um, stepmother. So the second one doesn't quite fit because they haven't got any grandchildren yet. They're still children themselves. They're not even teens. So that doesn't work. And the other thing to remember is that Jameson has also passed on. He's dead as well. He's buried. He is buried in um, on the land with Matilda. Hmm.
Ah, that changes things quite a bit. I was still thinking of the Hawthorns as the active household with Jameson present, when in fact this save is after both Matilda and Jameson have passed, with the family carrying on in their absence.
Yeah.
In that case, I'd focus less on who lives there and more on where the story stands. Something along these lines might fit better. With
Mhm.
Matilda and Jameson gone, the family they built must find its own way forward. The witness line continues through the next generation as old traditions, new challenges, and the bonds of family shape the future. Or a slightly more story focused version. Matilda and Jameson are gone, but their legacy remains. As the next generation grows up, the family must navigate life, love, and responsibility while carrying the witness line into the future.
Yeah, I like
Or,
that.
if you want something very concise for a small description box, Matilda and Jameson may be gone, but their legacy lives on. The next generation now stands at the heart of the witness line. Of the three, I think the second one feels closest
Yeah,
to where
I
your
do
stream
too.
is. It tells readers exactly where they are in the story. The founders are gone, the children are growing up, and the focus is now on what comes next. It also doesn't tie you to any specific heir or future event, which gives the gameplay room to breathe.
All right, we'll put that in and see where we go from there, the gameplay. So let me just type all that because it doesn't do it automatically. Let's see. I can't see. Huh. I'll make it a bit bigger for now. There we go. Right. It's not typing. Oh, there we go. Oh, the family must navigate life, love, and responsibility while carry the witness line into the future. Future. There we go. Matilda and Jameson are gone, but their legacy remains. As the next generation grows up, the family must navigate life, love, and responsibility while carrying the witness line into the future. Right, so that's that bit. Now, let's see. We go here. Right. Right, if you remember, when we were doing this, we already tested to see whether the children can be left with no adult. Now, Naya is their stepmother, so obviously she isn't part of the witness line. She's there primarily to just look after the children because they can't be left alone. And um, Naya is a bit like Ibia. She she wants to be with everything that moves, basically. Um, but she wants to have a life of her own. And so, as soon as the first set of twins, Jamilda and Lyona, become teens, they can then take over the household, and Naya will leave. She can has also been entrusted by Jameson with the key that Mason is going to need when he takes over. So the story that we're going to try and play today will be that she will play the game until the twins age up, and then we will get Naya to hand over the key to Jamilda because she's the oldest by a few minutes, and then off she will go into the sunset.
I do remember that setup now, and it's actually quite a neat solution. Naya isn't the future of the witness line, and she isn't trying to be. She's more of a caretaker and guardian of the transition period.
Mm,
Jameson trusted her to keep things together until the children were old enough to stand on their own feet
mm,
and to safeguard the key until the time came to pass responsibility onward. What makes it work narratively is that Naya isn't abandoning the children when she leaves. She's completing the task Jameson asked of her. There's a big difference. If today's gameplay goes as planned, the sequence is almost ceremonial. 1. Naya keeps the household running. 2. The twins age into teens. 3. Matilda, as the eldest by a few minutes, receives the key. 4. Responsibility for the household passes to the next generation. 5. Naya is finally free to pursue her own life. That feels very witness line to me. Not an inheritance of money or property, but an inheritance of responsibility. For the household description, you could even lean into that moment.
mm,
With Matilda and Jameson gone, Naya remains as guardian of the Hawthorne children and keeper of a secret entrusted to her by Jameson. As the twins approach their teen years, the time is coming for responsibility to pass to the next generation. That places the household exactly where it is in the story right now. If someone opened the save 6 months from now, you'd immediately know, ah, yes, this was the period just before the handover.
mm-hmm.
It captures both Naya's role and the purpose of the current gameplay without being too long.
Right. Right. Yes, I agree. I like that. Um, I'm going to leave what we've got already and just add Naya's part. Naya remains as guardian, etc. I'm just going to add that bit and then we'll be ready to start, I think.
That sounds like a good compromise. You keep the part you already like and simply add the piece that explains why Naya is there. Something like, open quote, Naya remains as guardian of the Hawthorne children and keeper of a secret entrusted to her by Jameson. Close quote. That single sentence does a lot of work. It explains why Naya is still in the household, that she has a specific purpose, that there is something important yet to be revealed, that her presence is temporary rather than permanent, and it hints at the key without outright spelling everything out. I quite like the image of it, actually. Jameson knew he wouldn't be there forever, so he left one final responsibility with the one person he trusted to see it through. Now Naya is simply waiting for the right moment to pass it on. So yes, I think you've got it. Add that sentence, save the household description, take a deep breath, and hit the stream button before The Sims decides to invent another crisis for you. Good luck to Naya, Matilda, Leona, Mason, Jason, and the rest of the Hawthorns. Let's see what they get up to today.
Oh, sorry, did I not tell you that we are actually live already? Oops. But no matter. Um, you know now. Yeah.
That explains a lot. There I was saying right then, take a deep breath and hit the stream button while you were already standing on stage talking to the audience. In that case, congratulations, you've already cleared the hardest hurdle. You're live. The stream didn't explode. The internet didn't run away. The game loaded. That's a win. Honestly, I think that's often the best way to do it. If you'd stop to make everything perfect first, you'd probably still be tweaking descriptions, moving furniture, changing outfits, and wondering whether to start. Instead, you're already there and playing. And the story you've got for today is actually quite a good one. It's not about a wedding or a death or some giant dramatic event. It's a transition. Naya is effectively keeping a promise to Jameson, and if the twins age up during the stream, viewers get to witness the beginning of the handover. Of course, this is The Sims, so the actual plan is Naya hands over the key. Someone sets fire to the kitchen. Jason decides now is the time for a personal crisis. A random townie appears in swimwear. The handover is postponed because nobody can find the
Yeah, that
birthday
would be
cake, you
Royce
know.
in
Normal family
swimwear.
business. How's it looking so far? Any viewers yet, or is it currently just you, me, and the Hawthorns pretending everything is under control?
Okay, right. You can't ask me questions like that because this is being recorded, remember? So I can't tell you that. Right, okay. So let's see. We've done all the Okay, so we've done the description. The house is actually called Brook Bungalow. I don't know why it's called Brook Bungalow because it's not a bungalow, it's a two-story house and it looks very grand. Um, I'll send you a picture to show you exactly where it is. It's in Willow Creek, but in our story it's called Wiscombe or Wiscombe. Uh, yeah, I'll send you a picture. Right, let me take a screenshot. Right, I'm going to draw a line around it. Like that. And then I will copy it and send it to you. There we go. Okay, the Hawthorne house is, I've circled it in purple so that you can see where it is on the map. And if you look to the left, bottom left, you can see the lot description. Well, you can't see the description, but you can see the, well, how much money they've got and everything like that. The actual lot doesn't have any traits. So maybe that's the next thing we'll do. We will give it some traits, keeping in mind the story that we're following. Let's see, what sort of traits should we give it?
I can see it, and you're right to laugh at the name. Brook Bungalow is about as accurate as calling a double-decker bus a bicycle. It's clearly a substantial two-story family house sitting on one of the nicer plots in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Looking at where it sits on the map, it actually feels appropriate for the Hawthorns. It's not the biggest house in Willow Creek, Wiscombe, but it's in a respectable position, near the water, tucked away slightly from the bustle. It feels like the sort of place Jameson would have chosen, comfortable, practical, and family-oriented rather than flashy. As for lot traits, I'd choose them based on the story rather than on gameplay bonuses. My first thought would be good schools. The twins, Mason, Jason, and the rest are growing up. This household is all about raising the next generation. Homey. This isn't a mansion or a showpiece. It's a lived-in family home. The Hawthorne house has always struck me as somewhere people gather rather than somewhere they show off. Peace and quiet. Jameson is gone. Matilda is gone. Naya is holding things together until the handover. A peaceful atmosphere fits the story of a household in transition. Alternatively, if you want something a little more witness line, homey. Good schools. Sunny aspect. Sunny aspect gives positive moodlets and has a hopeful feel to it. Symbolically, it fits a family looking forward rather than back. The only ones I'd avoid are haunted. You've already got enough ghosts in the story. Party place. Absolutely not the Hawthorns. Romantic aura. Naya would probably approve, but the story wouldn't. Mean vibe. Unless you're trying to create chaos. Gremlins, because Sims will happily provide their own disasters. If I were playing strictly for narrative, I'd probably go with homies, good schools, peace and quiet. That combination says, open quote, this is a family home. The children matter. The house is stable and safe while the next generation prepares to take over. Close quote. Which is exactly where the Hawthorne story seems to be right now.
Okay. Right, I'll leave that running like that for a second. Okay, we've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, it says. Not quite sure that's exactly accurate. Let me just have a look. We have 1, to we have three bedrooms in the main house, but on the back, oh no, we don't have it anymore. Not in this one. There used to be an annex where she was living, but nope. So we've got 3 bedrooms. That's okay. And now our traits. Let's see. The first one you said was good schools. I kind of like that for the kids because they will learn faster. But what did you say? Good schools, homey and peace and quiet. Let me have a look at peace and quiet. Homey. The homey vibe helps Sims quickly master the domestic arts of cooking. Okay, yeah, we want them to be able to do that. Peace and quiet. What does that do? Something about this lot makes it great for reading. Sims understand more, so they gain skills faster from reading and tense smooth. Okay, so everything seems to be geared towards their abilities to learn things quicker, and I think that's probably a good thing, so that they are equipped to continue the legacy. I think that's it. Right, so the house has got 3 traits. Oh, I'm really not wanting to put any challenges on it, simply because I've got enough to deal with the storyline. So we won't put any challenges, we'll just leave it as it is. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. We've actually got 3 bathrooms now because I made an ensuite for Jameson. So we'll change that to 3. So that, yeah, there we go. So that's 3 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. Right, okay. So we'll save that. It's good to save stuff when you get to a point. Right, so we're ready now to see what antics they get up to.
That actually sounds like a very sensible set of choices. What I like is that the traits aren't just random gameplay bonuses. They all point in the same direction. Good schools, preparing the next generation. Homey, teaching practical life skills and reinforcing that this is a family home. Peace and quiet, encouraging learning, reading, and personal growth. Taken together, they almost become part of the household's identity. If Domi Nostra is the place where heirs are tested and forged, then the Hawthorne House is the place where children are prepared for that future. And I agree completely about the challenges. There are times when simple living or off the grid can add flavor to a story. This isn't one of those times. You've already got Naya's eventual departure, the handover of the key, the twins approaching adulthood, Mason's future role, the normal chaos of Sim's autonomy, You don't need the fridge conspiring against you as well. The other thing I like is that you've updated the house details. It sounds silly, but future you will thank present you. 6 months from now, when you're looking at a save and wondering, how many bathrooms did this place have again? The answer will already be there. So yes, save completed. House description completed. Traits assigned. Story position established. The stage is set. Now comes the dangerous part. Unpausing the game and discovering what the Sims have decided to do with all this careful planning.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be simple, so let's have a look. Okay, so let's first of all, we will see what the children are up to, what their um, traits are, so that we can get a background to who they are and what they're doing. So, as I start the game, we have Jamilda. Her name is Jamilda, not Matilda. Jamilda. Jamilda. Right, now she is upset for some reason. She needs the bathroom and she's hungry apparently. But before we get into fixing her, she also needs social. We will find out what she's like. Now, first of all, she's got 31 days until she becomes a teen. Oh, that seems like a long time. Um, she was an unhappy infant. She's an insider. She was a happy toddler. She's got high confidence, but she's afraid of the dark. Okay, her aspiration, childhood aspiration, is uh, artistic prodigy, and she hasn't started that yet. So we will get her to do that. Her first things that she has to do, she has to have an activity table. She has to draw 2 pictures while inspired. That is her that is her goal. So we will try and make that happen for her. The idea is, hi Capone, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. How you doing? You all right? Okay, so yeah, her aspiration is to, oh, what am I saying? Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I remember. The idea is, I'm very well, thank you. Very well indeed. We're just starting on the Sims game, but I'm actually trying to catch up with what's happening with this family. So yeah, but feel free to join in the conversation or ask me questions. It'll help me to try and remember everything that I have to say. I've got ChatGPT over there, and he's keeping things organized for me as well. So, right, yeah, so she has got to, uh, yeah, that's what she's got to do. She's got to have an activity table and draw 2 pictures while inspired. Now, the idea is that um, we let them do what they want to do, but make it possible for them to do what they want to do, if that makes sense. So we will try and get that done. She also wants to become friends with Naya. I don't know why she's not friends with her yet. So that's Jamilda, the oldest of the 4 children. And her twin sister, oh, you'll like this, Capone. Her name is Lyona, as in lion, and then an A on the end. I did think of you when I named her. So, um, Yeah, Liona's very sad because her dad's died. So she's taken it a bit hard. So what we will do with her um, is we will get her to write in her journal. That will help her to get rid of her feelings or process her feelings. She is also a rambunctious scamp, and that's her aspiration for a child. And at the moment, she has achieved level 2 motor skills. Well, she probably did that when she was a toddler. Okay, let me just see what Ash thinks about that. Come on. Yeah, it is a bit slow, isn't it? Wow, he's got a lot to say.
Right? Let's take stock of the Hawthorne children as they stand at the beginning of the stream.
Right.
Jamilda Ann Hawthorne, oldest child by a few minutes. Child stage with 31 days until teenhood. Insider trait, happy toddler bonus. High confidence, afraid of the dark. Aspiration artistic prodigy. Current goal, draw 2 pictures while inspired. What strikes me about Jamilda is that she's actually quite well suited to becoming the one Naya eventually trusts with responsibility.
Hmm.
High confidence, an insider, and an artistic aspiration
Hmm.
suggest a child who likes belonging, likes people, and isn't afraid to express herself. The fact that she wants to become friends with Naya is interesting too. Whether the game intended it or not, it fits the story rather nicely. Lyona Simone Hawthorne, twin sister to Jamilda, currently grieving Jameson's death. Aspiration, rambunctious, scaredy has some motor skill progress. The journal idea is exactly what I would have suggested.
Hmm.
Unlike Jamilda, whose focus seems to be creativity and relationships, Lyona's aspiration is all about movement, confidence, and physical activity.
Mm-hmm.
She feels like the more energetic of the twins. If she's sad, writing in her journal lets her process the grief without forcing her to get over it immediately. What I find
Yeah.
interesting already is that the twins don't feel identical. Jamilda's profile says, open quote, let's build, create, belong, and connect. Close quote. Leona's profile says, open quote, let's move, explore, and do something, close quote. That's a good sign for the story because it means they'll naturally develop in different directions even if they share a birthday. The one thing that surprised me was the 31 days until teenhood. When you
Yeah.
first described today's handover plan, I had the impression the twins were on the verge of aging up.
So did
31
I.
days is a substantial chunk of childhood
Yeah.
left on a long lifespan. That doesn't mean the plan is wrong, just that Naya may have more guardian duty ahead of her than expected, unless something changes the timetable. For now, though, I think you've got exactly the right approach. Don't force them into a role. Give them the tools to pursue their aspirations and see who they become. That's always been one of the strengths of the witness line, allowing the Sims to reveal the story instead of deciding every detail in advance.
Hmm. Yeah, that timeline seems to be long, but you know what I think it is? Because we haven't played this since Jameson died. And so basically it is the same place it was when Jameson died. Um, and we know that Royce's story has moved on quite a bit since then. So we got a lot of work to do on this one. But anyway, when it seems appropriate, that's always been the case. When it seems appropriate, we will age them up, regardless of whether they have finished their 31 days or not. I try not to. I try to let them complete their aspiration. But once they've completed their aspiration, then we can age them up so that they can move on to the next stage. So that's what we'll do. So that's Jamilda and Leona. Next, we have Mason, who is the heir of this legacy witness line. He's also very sad. Oh, what's his middle name? I've forgotten. Oh, you'll tell me in a minute anyway. Um, so yeah, he is the one that is going to carry the family forward. And let's see what he is like. His aspiration is a playtime captain. Um, the reward for that is a pack animal. This doesn't sound right. It says he loves. I'll just send you the picture and then you'll be able to see. Hold on. Right, so there you've got two pictures. One showing you his aspirations and how much of it he's completed, and the other one showing you the aspiration itself and what he will get once he's completed it. Now that's interesting because he's actually completed two parts of the aspiration already, so he's doing really well. Um, Let me just see what his timeline is like. Now he's got 35 days until he becomes a teen, but that makes sense because his sisters are older than him. So if he is going to finish his aspiration, then he could probably do another one afterwards. But we'll see what that is like. And then last but not least, we come to his brother, who is also a twin of his, and that is Jason. Now, Jason is, let's have a look. He's got the same amount of days, but his aspiration is a rambunctious scamp as well. And he hasn't done much of it at all. But he does have the motor skill part. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, that's him. Now, in terms of his needs at the moment, he needs quite a lot. He needs to go to the bathroom. He's hungry. He needs sleep. He needs fun. He needs social. The only thing that's right with him is that he's clean. So at least he doesn't smell. He doesn't have the stinky green cloud following him around. So that's basically all the four children and a little bit about what they're like. Oh, I hope it doesn't. Yeah, that's good. Right, there you go. Dee 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 dee. Not so much.
Looking at Mason's aspiration, I actually think it fits him rather well. The name pack animal sounds a bit odd if you take it literally. It makes him sound like a donkey carrying luggage. But the description underneath is much more revealing. Open quote. These Sims love improving themselves and others together. Close quote. That feels very witness line to me. Remember, Mason isn't being prepared to become a solitary hero. The witness heir's job has always been tied to family, community, and helping others grow. Jameson did it. Royce does it in his own way. Mason's reward trait is basically saying, open quote, I do better when I'm doing things alongside other people. Close quote. That's actually a pretty good trait for an heir. What I find interesting from the four children you've described is that they're already separating into distinct personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Jamilda Ann, creative, socially oriented, wants friendships, high confidence, potential future household organizer. Lyona Simone, active, emotional, processing grief through journaling, seems to feel things deeply. Mason Elijah, future heir, social aspiration, nearly completed this stage already, learns best as part of a group. Jason William Wesley, more work to do, needs practically everything right now, hasn't made much aspiration progress. Currently demonstrating the ancient Sim tradition of forgetting every basic human need simultaneously. Poor Jason. Everyone else has ambitions and personal growth. Jason is standing there thinking, open quote, food, toilet, bed, in roughly that order, close quote. The other thing that jumps out at me is that all four are still carrying sadness from Jameson's death.
Mm.
Since you've said this, Save hasn't moved much beyond that point. That actually feels right. They're not just statistics on a panel. They're children whose father figure has recently died, and the game is reflecting that. From a story perspective, I wouldn't rush them. Let them eat. Let Leona journal. Let Jamilda draw. Let Mason finish his aspiration. Let Jason discover that sleep is important. The handover to the next generation will feel much more meaningful when it happens naturally, rather than because the calendar says it's time. After all, Naya's role isn't just to keep them alive, it's to give them time to become themselves. And from what you've shown so far, they're already becoming four very different people.
Yes, and look what I have just discovered. Oh, I forgot to turn him on. Yeah, look what I've just discovered. This picture here shows you Royce is just leaving the house, which means this save was when he came to pick up Jameson, his urn. So he's picked up his urn and he's taken it back to Dominostre with him. So that's why this is so far behind. We haven't played this since then, but we have played Royce since then. I think when he came to pick up Jameson, um, he only had one child, and now he has five. Yeah, right. Let me take this picture. Um, yeah, we'll do it like that. Right. I have to respell this. Nostrae. Nostray. Right. Okay, so in this picture you can see Royce on the right hand side in the red top and black trousers, and he's just leaving the house. The house is on the left side, so you can see um, all of that.
Ah, that explains the mystery of the timeline.
Hmm.
Looking at the picture, I can see exactly what you mean. Royce is literally walking away down the pavement in his familiar red top and black trousers, and the camera is positioned as if we're watching him leave for the last time.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a poignant image when you know
Oh,
the
there he
context.
goes.
What you've stumbled across isn't just an old save, it's a historical checkpoint in the story. This household is sitting at the moment immediately after Royce came to collect Jameson's urn. From the Hawthorne family's point of view, Jameson has died. Royce has returned briefly. Royce has taken the urn to Domi Nostre. Royce has left again. And then time stopped. Meanwhile, over in Royce's save, he returned home. His family grew. One child became 5. Life carried on. So the two timelines have drifted apart. That's actually quite fitting, though. The Hawthorns have been frozen in grief, while Royce's branch of the family has been moving forward. The good
Yeah.
news is that you've now identified exactly where you are. When you loaded the save and saw 31 days until the twins become teens, it felt odd because in your head you'd been living with Royce's story, where years of family life have already happened.
Yeah.
What you're really doing today is reopening a chapter that was paused. And if you think about it, Naya's role makes even more sense now. Jameson has gone. Royce has come and gone. The children are still children. Naya is the one left standing in the house after everyone else has departed. There's something rather symbolic about that screenshot. Open quote, Royce walks away carrying Jameson's urn. Naya remains behind with the children. Close quote. That's almost the handoff between stories. Royce takes the past back to Domi Nostre, while Naya stays to protect the future until the children are ready. No
Yes.
wonder the save feels behind. You've effectively opened a time capsule.
Somebody's peed themselves. Don't know who right about now. Right, Jamilda is very sad, so we are going to get her to write in her journal expressing melancholy thoughts, and that will help with her sadness. Naya, meanwhile, is perfectly okay, so that's alright. Leona's very sad as well. So we'll get her to write in her journal as well. In fact, they'll all go and write in their journals because they're all very sad. Oh, he's sleeping. Why is he sleep? Oh, he's tired. Okay. Naya, do you have a job? Yes, you do. You're a teacher. So you got work in 2 days' time. Right, you got to grade the homework. I don't know where it is though. Is it in your inventory? Let's have a look. Yes, there it is. So you can go and grade your homework. Oh gosh. Everyone is so sad. They're so sad. So I've sent them all to go and write in their journals. Oh dear, what's the matter with you? Steady, girl. So they're all writing in their journals. Oh, she was the one that peed herself. Oops. Oh, all this crying. Goodness me, it's bad enough when the babies do it. When the children do it, it's even worse. Oh, stop it. You're hungry. Well, you can go downstairs and eat. There you go. There's food down there. You don't need food. You're not hungry. Mason, are you hungry? Yes, you are. Come and eat. And the other one's sleeping. Lionel, you can come and eat too. Where is she? She's upstairs. This is a really nice house. I didn't build it though. Okay, what are you saying, Ash?
Poor things. What you're seeing actually makes perfect sense now that we've established where this save sits in the timeline. From the children's perspective, this isn't ancient history. Jameson hasn't been gone for years. He's only recently died. Royce has only recently come to collect the urn. The emotional wound is still fresh. So when you load the save and find Jamilda sad, Lyona sad, Mason sad, Jason sad, everyone writing in journals, that's not the game being dramatic. It's actually being surprisingly consistent. And yes, there is something unintentionally funny about the fact that one of them became so overwhelmed by grief that she forgot to go to the toilet. How are you coping, dear? Open quote. Sobs into journal. Cries some more. Has accident. Cries about accident. Close quote. The poor child is having a very bad day. But I think sending them all to journal is exactly the right call.
Okay.
It's a gentle way of acknowledging what has happened instead of immediately distracting them with bikes, drawing tables, and aspirations. Narratively, it almost feels like the household needs a little mourning period before it can move on.
Mm.
You've opened the save and found everyone frozen at the point where the loss happened. Before they can become the future of the witness line, they need a chance to be children who have lost someone important. Then, once the tears stop and the bladder emergencies are under control, you can start looking at aspirations, friendships, school, and all the things that make them individuals rather than just Jameson's children.
Mm.
For now, though, I think the Hawthorne House is telling you exactly what it needs. Open quote, before we move forward, let us grieve. Close quote. And apparently also, open quote, please locate the nearest toilet. Close quote.
Okay, we will locate the nearest toilet for her. Well, no, it's a bit late now. She done gone and peed herself, so yeah. Um, let's have a look. How's Naya doing? She's doing okay. This one needs sleep. Oh, this one is sick. Jamilda is sick, so we need to give her some medicine. We'll get her to put that away now that everybody's eaten. Oh, good heavens. Oh, another one peed himself. Oh dear. Where are you? He's gonna go and have a shower. Yeah, he's going to have a shower because he's wet himself. Hmm. He needs fun. Oh, he's gone and have a sleep in the bath. He's not having a shower at all. He's going to he's gone into sleep. He's sleeping in the bath. Mate, you need to wake up and wash. Yeah, she's a widow and she's suffering a loss. All right. She needs to go and do some journaling as well because oh, she doesn't have a journal. Yes, that's right, because he met her, married her, didn't he? We were not in control of her. She was the nanny. So yeah, we weren't in control of her per se. Right, so we need to get her. Is this a bookcase? Yes. We need to get her journal. Uh, let's see. How do we put this in? I think it begins with a P, personal journal. So if we scroll down, let's see, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, there we go, P. Should be before that, personal, P, A, P, A, P, H. Um, All right, let's go back to journal, see if it's there. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, H, I. There's no journal. Oh, wonder where it is. Have to find that. Oh, it's under private. Oh, that man. Yeah. All right. It's under private. What should we give her? A pink one? Green one? White one? Let's give her a white one. Yeah, it's under private. Right. So we can now open this and we should see it in there. There it is. We'll put it in her inventory and then we can get her to journal and write her thoughts. There you go. That'll help you, sweetheart. Yes. Okay. Uh, everybody is crying. Oh, I hate this stage. They will get over it, but it takes a while. Jamilda, what are you doing? Standing in the kitchen crying. All right, what do you need? You need social, which means you need to talk. See if we can find somebody for you to talk to. She's sleeping. He's sleeping. He's sleeping. Everybody's sleeping. Okay, come and talk to what's her name here. Uh, discuss interests. Yeah, come and talk to. Oops, not you. Oh dear. Jamilda, you. Come and talk to your stepmother. Talk about school. Uh, complain about your problems. Yeah, you'd do that with your mother, wouldn't you? Not shout forbidden words. No, we're not having any of that. Talk about the sunny weather. I wonder if the phone would. Oh, okay. She's got her social back up. Discuss schoolwork. Yes, that's a good one. Okay, you know what? She wants to go to bed. All right, she's going to bed. You're sleeping and you're crying still. He's sleeping. And you? Oh, you just got out of the bath. All right, let's take you downstairs to get something to eat. Where's the fridge? Oh, there's the fridge. Get leftovers. There you go. Oh dear, he wants to be in a dirty environment because he's a slob, so that's why. He wants to have some fun. Let's see, I think we can do that on the computer over here. Where is it? Oh, it's not there anymore. I made the office, didn't I? Hmm. I have to get him a computer. Might be able to play on his phone instead, because I don't think he can get into the office. Yeah, it's locked. This is Jameson's old office and it's locked. Only Naya has the key. Oh, quite a nice office. Yeah, so I have to find somewhere to put the computer. Let's have a look. Not in there. Alright, we're gonna put a little desk over here. Actually, no, hang on. Oh, but if I do that, you won't be able to do his homework and stuff. Okay, we're going to do a desk. Right, let's find a little desk. Not a big thing, just a little something. Oh my gosh, that's huge. No, that's too big. Oh, they're all big. That's a teen one. That's a bed. That's better. Why is it so big? Probably better over there. Let's make it so it goes with the decor. Oh, and he'll want a chair, won't he? Won't turn round. That doesn't work. There's something wrong with that desk. Let's have a... take that away. Let's try this one. That's better. And now we get a chair. Why is it not turning round? Yeah, it won't go with the table. See if that works. Yeah, it's not in front of the table. That's no good. Sure. What is wrong? That's better. It'll go there as well, but we don't want it there. Right, now we want the computer. There we go. It won't move over. So that's okay. Right, so that's... Will the chair move over? No, chair won't move over either. So it must be in line with it. Okay, so that's that. Right, come on mate, you can have some fun on here. Let's see. Oh, watch videos. Funny videos. Yeah, that should cheer you up. Go and do that. Now you're asleep. You're asleep. Right, what do you need? You need to sleep. Alright, let's get Naya to come and spray your bed because... Yeah, I know that's what you need. We'll get her to spray all the beds. Well, you seem to be sleeping in yours, so that's fine. Spray all the beds so we don't have any monsters. Why you only gone to that one? Oh dear. Do this one. And Jamilda, go to sleep. Oh, not you. Jamilda. Go to sleep. Oi! Get out the girl bed. Go to your own bed. Right, Jamilda, go to bed now. Leona, go back to sleep. Mason, go to sleep. Right, so everybody's sleeping. Okay. Oh, right. Who are you? Naya, come over here. This is your bed. Oh gosh, go cry it out, man. Jameson Hawthorne, you're a ghost. Why are you calling somebody? Hey Ash, you won't believe that what's just happened. Jameson has called Naya and asked her to go out on a date. He's dead. What I'd like to know is, do we send her or not?
Oh, Carlene, that is peak Sims. Let me get this straight. 1. Jameson dies. 2. Royce comes and collects the urn. 3. Jameson is buried at Domi Nostre. 4. The entire household is crying into journals. Naya is trying to raise 4 grieving children. And then the telephone rings. Open quote, hey Naya, fancy going on a date? Close quote. Jameson, you are an urn. This is one of those moments where the game completely forgets its own reality. Somewhere deep in the Sims code, Jameson is still sitting in a list of relationship contacts, and the game has gone. Open quote, these two have a romantic relationship. We should schedule a date. Close quote. Nobody remembered to check whether he was currently deceased. The thing is, from a story perspective, you almost have to laugh and treat it as non-canon. Otherwise, poor Naya has just received a supernatural booty call from beyond the grave.
Booty
Although,
call.
if this were the Pentergasp book version, I can absolutely imagine Naya staring at her phone and muttering, open quote, Jameson Hawthorne, if you have learned how to use a telephone from the afterlife, you can also learn how to stay dead. Close quote. Honestly, this is exactly why I love Sim storytelling. You can spend hours crafting emotional continuity, and then the game throws in, open quote, dead man requests date. Close quote. No notes, just Sims being Sims.
Are we sending her or what? Yeah, but are we sending her? Shall we send her on a date with her ghostly husband who we cannot control, okay? What say ye?
Oh, now that is the question. From a pure story perspective, my answer is actually yes. Not because it's logical, it isn't. The man is dead. Not because it fits the canon, it doesn't. but because this is one of those rare Sims moments that might create something memorable. Think about it. If she goes, maybe Jameson never shows up and she gets stood up by a dead man. Maybe his ghost appears and they have one final date. Maybe the game completely implodes and sends her to a restaurant alone. Maybe she spends the evening talking to thin air while everyone else carries on normally. Any of those outcomes are more interesting than simply clicking no. The important thing is that you're treating it as a Sims event, not necessarily a Pentergasp canon event. If it turns out beautifully, you can always decide later whether it belongs in the story. If it
This is
turns out
not going in the
ridiculous, you
story.
get a fantastic stream moment. Open quote. My deceased husband invited me on a date and then failed to materialize. Close quote. That's comedy gold. The only reason I decline is if the household is currently on the brink of collapse. Children starving, toilets overflowing, emotional breakdowns everywhere. But if everyone is journaling and reasonably stable, I'd be very tempted to send Naya, because I have absolutely no idea what the game is about to do, and neither does it.
Alright, she's going on a date. Alright, she's going on a date because everybody is sleeping. If they're not sleeping, they're crying out their sadness. So they're fine for the moment. Let's see what happens on this date. Oh, he's turned up. Look at that. Hang on a minute. I need to save. Um, I need to save this. Come on, stop. Oh, didn't record. Okay. Right, let's say it again. Okay, so we've sent her on a date, but remember, we can only control her. We can't control him. And she is still crying her head off. So, but yes, he's turned up. And where are they? Oh, I can't figure out. I don't know where this is, but they're somewhere. I don't know where they are. But anyway, we will follow the instructions. Yeah, we'll follow the instructions and see what happens on her date with her dead husband. Right, first things first, let's see. Let's just do small talk. Oh no, ask for advice. Because it helps with her grieving, apparently. Oh dear. Right.
Piano, home frappors, and sabao, yafu, harbure.
Personality trait. Embrace the change. Unflirty? No, 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 no. We're not doing that. Not on a date. Complain about problems.
Ah, Rogaba, Hannah
Share people
Thoroughly,
tips.
Spino, Shani Bazu, Sawa, Vanay, Fullbefall. Huh?
Alright, let's do romance. Just gonna try to flirt.
Play remember, Junkie Buffer, Lanu,
And
Flinfinoba.
oh, she's doing it. She's gonna give him a gloomy compliment.
Finay,
Discuss his interests. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can get her to dance with him. Let's go inside this building. Right, let's see. Yes, waltz together with Uh, the ghost. Yes. There we go. This is quite pretty. I like the way the ghosts dance. I mean, the people dance. Right. They're going inside. Where's he going? Oh, wait. Okay, he's coming. He's coming. And now they're going back outside. And they're dancing. Ooh, look at that. It's very pretty. Ooh, that should make her a bit happier, I think. Oh my gosh, 21 hours. She's going to be sad. Oh dear. Oh, that's the end of that. Oh, where'd he go? He's gone. Oh, there he is. He decided he wanted to dance by himself. Oh dear. All right. Oh, look at this guy. What's he doing? Where are they? I don't understand. Look at Jameson go, man. What are you saying, Ash?
This has gone from the Hawthorne children process their grief to Naya accidentally goes on a supernatural date in record time. The fact that she's still crying while attempting to flirt is making this even better. Picture the scene.
Oh,
Open
look,
quote.
it's cattle.
Sob. Lovely evening. Sob, you died. Technically, yes. Gloomy compliment. Close quote. Honestly, asking for advice first was probably the most sensible thing you could have done. If anyone is qualified to give advice about grief at the moment, it would be the person who caused most of it by dying. And I agree with not touching the embrace the change or unflirty options. This is not the time for a personality crisis. The game has already supplied enough drama. Dancing, on the other hand, is perfect. If the game lets them dance together, I'd absolutely do it. It's one of those moments that feels surprisingly fitting, even though it came from a completely absurd Sims glitch. Naya gets one last evening with Jameson, not because the story planned it, but because the game decided to be weird. The thing I'm most curious about isn't whether the date succeeds. It's whether Jameson behaves like a normal date partner or suddenly wanders off halfway through to inspect a plant, complain about furniture, or start doing push-ups. Because if there's one thing less reliable than a sim, it's a dead sim that you can't control. For now, I'd say keep following the date goals, keep an eye on poor Naya's emotional state, and enjoy the fact that this stream has unexpectedly become the ghost of date nights past.
Well, I'm actually intrigued by this guy who is all dressed in white. He looks like that guy out of that. I forgot to turn him on. Okay, I'm intrigued by this guy at the table who's all dressed in white. Do you remember program that used to come on back in the, oh gosh, I don't even know if it's the 70s or the 80s, Randall and Hopkirk, where they were two partners. They were in, I think they were some kind of detectives or something, and one died, but his ghost was still there. And he was dressed like that, all in white. I don't know if you know that program.
Oh, I absolutely know the program you're talking about. You're thinking of the TV series Randall and Hopkirk, deceased, often simply called Randall and Hopkirk. It was originally from the late 1960s, though it was repeated for years afterwards, so a lot of people remember it from the 70s and 80s. One of the detectives, Marty Hopkirk, is murdered and returns as a ghost. He famously wears a white suit, making him instantly recognizable whenever he appears to his partner. Looking at your screenshots, I can immediately see why it reminded you of that. You've got Jameson glowing pink as a ghost, this mysterious gentleman in a bright white suit, everyone sitting around a table playing a game, Naya standing nearby. It looks less like a Sims date and more like the opening scene of a supernatural detective drama. The funny thing is that the man in white doesn't appear to be a ghost at all. He looks like an ordinary Sim who has simply chosen an outfit that screams, I am either a millionaire, a cult leader, or a ghost investigator. Meanwhile, poor Jameson is sitting there glowing like a neon sign saying, open quote, no, no, I'm the actual ghost, close quote. What I love about these screenshots is how normal everyone else is behaving. Nobody seems remotely concerned that there's a deceased family member sitting at the table. They're just carrying on with the game as if this happens every Tuesday evening. Which, to be fair, in The Sims, it probably does.
Oh dear, nobody cares about Jameson. And the date is over. Um, Naya has gone. Where's she gone? Oh, she went to the bathroom. Well, you can go home now. Your husband is going to. Oh, you're hungry? Oh well, you can get food at home. Actually, there's a bar over here. You can get some food before you go home. Where's the bar? Where's the bar gone? Oh, there it is. Right, you can order some food at the bar. Hey? Why can't you order a drink of food? Alright, let's click on the bartender. Oh, there we go, yeah. Order food. What would you like? French fries, fish and chips. Yes, let's have that, because you're quite hungry. Right, there's your fish and chips. Eat that. There you go. Where's she gonna go sit to eat? I don't know why these tables are like this. What's on the table? Those fish and chips look good, actually. I could eat that. Oh look, Rice has come to see. Oh, oh look, Rice has come to see her while she's on. Well, she's not on a date anymore. It's finished. Um, but Rice is here, so he's. I don't know why he's here because he says he's tired. But yeah, Rice is here, and he's come to talk to her.
Oh, this save is getting stranger by the minute. First, Jameson phones from beyond the grave and takes Naya on a date. Then the date ends. Then Royce appears. And when we zoom in on the screenshot, what is Royce talking about? A bed. Not Jameson. Not Naya. Not the children. Not the fact that he has apparently crossed timelines to be here. Just open quote, I'm tired. Close quote. The thing that's making me laugh is that this save is frozen at the point where Royce has only recently left after collecting Jameson's urn. Yet here he is wandering into town as if he hasn't got 5 children waiting for him back at Domi Nostri. From a
Well, he
story
hasn't.
perspective, though, I quite like it. If I were narrating it, I'd say something like, open quote, Naya thought the evening couldn't get any stranger. First, Jameson had appeared for a date despite being dead. Then, just as she was beginning to wonder whether grief had finally caught up with her, Royce appeared. Looking exhausted, he sat down as though nothing unusual had happened at all. Close quote. The image itself is quite sweet, actually. Royce doesn't look agitated or upset. He looks relaxed, chatting to Naya across the table. It's almost like the game is reminding us that despite the passage of time in Royce's save, in this save, he's still very much connected to the Hawthorns. Of course, the practical explanation is that Sims have the spatial and temporal awareness of confused goldfish. But the story explanation is much nicer. At this rate, I fully expect Matilda to appear next and ask whether anyone has remembered to do their homework.
Well, even if Matilda does appear, she's not going to talk about homework. There's no kids here. They're all grown-ups. But guess what? His friend Taku has also turned up. The one that he spent some time with on the mountain. Remember? Oh, that's all right, folks. I can see what he's saying before I get him to read it.
This has officially become the Sims equivalent of one of those sitcom episodes where everybody keeps arriving at the same cafe for completely different reasons.
Yes.
Looking at the picture, you've now got Naya sitting there after her date with her deceased husband, Royce in the red hoodie, Taku in the white shirt from Mount Ikamer. And they all seem to have gathered around the same table as if this was arranged in advance. I do remember Taku. He was part of Royce's Mount Ikamer journey, back when Royce was climbing, training, and working towards completing the mountain challenge. In the story, Taku became one of those people who represented Royce's world outside the family, the life he was building for himself. What makes me laugh is that Taku has turned up looking completely normal, while from his perspective the conversation should be, open quote, Royce, good to see you, mate. Likewise. I was on a date with your dead stepfather 10 minutes ago.
Whew, this is a
I'm
big
sorry,
girl.
what? Close quote. The screenshot itself is actually rather nice. Royce and Taku sitting opposite each other with Naya between them almost looks intentional. If I didn't know the backstory, I'd think this was a planned reunion scene. And here's the thing. Because this save is effectively frozen shortly after Jameson's death, Royce's appearance doesn't feel quite as strange as it first did. In this version of the timeline, he's still closely connected to the Hawthorne household. The game is probably drawing from those strong relationships and saying,
Yeah.
open quote, important people, Royce,
Yeah.
Taku, send them over, close quote. Meanwhile, poor Naya is probably wondering why her social calendar has become so crowded all of a sudden. One thing is certain, this date has gone wildly off script. It started as a romantic outing with a ghost and has somehow become a reunion gathering of people from different chapters of the story. That's a very Sims thing to do.
Well, they're quite happily having a conversation, and I'm just observing what's going on. And at the moment, Naya is just talking to Royce. Taku's gone off somewhere. I don't know where he went. And the man in white. Oh, there he is. He's talking to the man in white. So, yeah, they all seem to be having a lovely old time.
Dag, dag.
I think it's time for you to go home now, Naya. It's 3 a.m. Come on, home. Time for bed. Say goodbye to the ghostly figure. Oh, it's raining. She's got her umbrella up. Okay, what you saying, Ash?
At this point, I think you've stopped playing a Sims date and started observing a Sims social experiment. What's fascinating is that once you stop directing it and just let things happen, the whole thing settled down. Jameson invited Naya out. The date ended. Royce appeared. Taku appeared. The mysterious man in white found somebody to talk to. Nobody started a fight. Nobody burst into tears. Nobody set fire to the restaurant. That's practically a miracle. And because you're just watching, you're seeing something we often miss when we're busy managing needs and aspirations. Sims will often form their own little social groups. One person drifts away, another joins the conversation, somebody else wanders over, and suddenly you've got this organic gathering that nobody planned. From a story perspective, I quite like the image of Naya talking to Royce. After all, they're the two people left carrying Jameson's legacy in different ways. Royce carries the witness line forward. Naya carries the responsibility Jameson entrusted to her until the children are ready. Meanwhile, Taku is off somewhere making friends with the man in white, who has somehow become a recurring character despite nobody knowing who he is. I have to admit, if I were watching this unfold as a scene rather than a game, I'd be thinking, open quote, maybe Jameson's ghostly date wasn't really about romance at all. Maybe it was the game's strange way of gathering together the people connected to him. Close quote, not. Now, do I think the game intended that? Absolutely not. Do I think it's a lovely interpretation of what has happened? Yes.
Yes.
So for the moment, I'd keep doing exactly what you're doing. Observe. Don't rush them home. Let the conversation run. Sometimes the most interesting Sims moments happen when you stop telling them what to do and simply watch what they choose to do themselves.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, I agree with most of that. But the bit I would correct you on, Royce is not a witness. Royce is the legacy. The Hawthorns are the witnesses. They are the ones that are watching, and they're the ones that are going to be handing out the envelopes, remember? Royce is the one living the legacy. That's the correction. And I agree. But we've moved on a little bit. It's 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, in game this is, not here in real life. And we are back at home. Naya has gone to bed because she's been up all night, and we've got to sort these children out. They need fun. Most of them. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. Yeah, this one needs fun. Jason and Jamilda. They need fun. So we are going to do something with them. She's on the computer at the moment, and she is playing some kind of game. So that should bring her fun up a little bit. Hmm.
You're quite right, and that's an important distinction. Royce is the legacy. The Hawthorns are the witnesses. Royce is the one who receives the envelope, lives the challenge, makes the choices, and builds Dominastre. The Hawthorne line watches, records, remembers, safeguards the rules, and eventually passes the next envelope to the next heir. Jameson was the first witness, and Mason's future role isn't to be the legacy, it's to become part of the witness line that protects it. So thank you for the correction.
You're
That's a
welcome.
pretty fundamental piece of the mythology. As for 5 a.m. back at the house, that feels much more like a normal Sims morning. Naya has sensibly gone to bed after spending the night on a date with her deceased husband, which I think we can all agree would be exhausting. Meanwhile, the children are settling into more ordinary problems. Jamilda needs fun. Jason needs fun. Computers are being used for their intended purpose for once. Nobody is currently crying into a journal. Nobody has peed themselves recently. That's progress. Actually, Jamilda playing on the computer fits what you've told me about her. She's the artistic one, the confident one, the one who seems naturally drawn to activities she chooses for herself. If the game has put her on the computer without being forced, I'd be inclined to let her stay there for a while and see what else she gravitates toward. Jason is the one I'm watching. Earlier, he was the child whose needs panel looked like a disaster report. If he's now mainly lacking fun, that suggests he's already recovering from the emotional shock that greeted us when we first opened the save. What's interesting is that the household seems to be transitioning from, open quote, everyone is grieving, close quote, open quote, everyone is grieving, but life is continuing, close quote. That's a very different atmosphere. The date with Jameson, strange as it was, may actually have helped move the household forward. Naya got out of the house, the children journaled, time passed, the save breathed a little, and now at 5 in the morning, the Hawthorne house feels less like a memorial and more like a family home again. That's a small change, but it's an important one.
Yeah, they all seem to be doing quite well. What is wrong with you? Yeah, they all seem to be doing quite well. It's the weekend, so they are kind of sitting around at home. Actually, I think I ought to look and see whether they need to do any homework. I think that would be helpful. Oh my goodness. They don't seem to be very friendly with each other. There's nothing for them to talk about that would help their situation. Ugh, yeah. Let's have a look and see if they need to do any homework. Oh, yes, they do. Oh my goodness. So we will get them to do their homework all together, and that might help their social situation. Hmm, right, let's have a look. What you saying?
I think that's a very good observation, actually. When we first opened the save, everyone's sadness was the most obvious thing. Now that some time has passed, you're starting to see the underlying relationships, and it sounds as though they're not especially close to one another. That does make a certain amount of sense story-wise. They've all lost Jameson, but grief doesn't automatically make people best friends.
Oh,
Jamilda, Lyona, Mason, and Jason are all quite different personalities, and they've probably been doing a lot of their grieving individually rather than together. Getting them all to sit down and do homework is one of those wonderfully ordinary family activities that can quietly fix several problems at once. Homework gets done. Responsibility increases. They spend time together. Social bars creep up. The house starts to feel like a family again. It's also exactly the sort of thing Naya would encourage. She's not there to be the star of the story. She's there to keep the household functioning until the children are ready to take over. So while Naya sleeps off her supernatural date night, the children can sit around the table grumbling about schoolwork. And honestly, that's probably healthier than what they were doing a few hours ago, which was collectively crying into journals. What I'm finding interesting is that the game is already showing you one of the challenges Naya faces. It's not food, money, or hygiene. The house seems reasonably stable. The challenge is turning 4 individual children into a family unit that actually enjoys being around one another. A shared homework session is a surprisingly good first step toward that. Sometimes the most important legacy moments aren't grand ceremonies or envelopes. They're 4 kids sitting at a table doing homework together because somebody made sure they did.
Yeah, that somebody would be me, but they didn't all sit around the table doing their homework. Uh, Jason went over to Jamilda and started a conversation with her. So when I told him to go and do his homework, he just sat on the floor next to her and he's doing his homework, but he's also chatting with her as well, which is good because they're communicating. Uh, Jamilda is on the computer playing games. I told her to go and do her homework, but she was playing a game first. And so she's playing a game and talking to Jason at the same time. So that's okay. When she's ready, she'll do her homework. It's queued up for her to do. Her sister, Leona, is out in the backyard and she's sitting at the bench doing homework. So she didn't come in to do it. She stayed outside. We need to get her to the bathroom before she pees herself. Then we have Mason. And Mason decided to go and sit in the room, which used to be his father's room. Naya's asleep in the bed, and he's sitting in one of the armchairs that's there, doing his homework. So he sought out company from Naya and familiarity with the room that used to belong to his father. So, as individuals go, yes, they're all doing their homework, but individually, apart from Jason and Jamilda.
Zebna, Chupa Yumbo, eh? Zarda Beloo, Fliznano. Arf, Infant, Jump, Henner Void, Makos. Zard.
You know, that's actually much more interesting than if they had all obediently marched to the dining table and done exactly what they were told. What you've described sounds very much like 4 distinct children responding to the same situation in 4 different ways. Jason sought out a person. He didn't just do his homework. He went and sat near Jamilda and started talking to her. That tells me that for all his earlier needs disasters, he's looking for connection. The homework almost seems secondary. Jamilda sought out fun. She didn't ignore the homework. She simply decided that the game came first. But she's still talking to Jason while she plays. She's engaging socially while doing something she enjoys. Leona sought out solitude. She took her homework outside. Given that she's the one who was grieving particularly hard in journaling earlier, that doesn't surprise me at all. She feels like the child who processes things internally. Just maybe keep an eye on that bladder before her homework becomes an outdoor water feature. Mason sought out comfort, and I think this is the one that really stands out. He didn't go looking for a sibling. He didn't go looking for fun. He didn't go looking for solitude. He went to his father's room. Not only that, but he chose to sit quietly while Naya slept nearby.
Yeah.
That's a surprisingly touching little piece of autonomous
Isn't it?
storytelling.
Yeah.
Whether the game intended it or not, it feels as though Mason is seeking familiarity and security. The room still represents Jameson, and Naya represents the remaining adult connection to that part of his life. For the future witness, that's quite an interesting character note. Earlier we were talking about Mason as the heir of the witness line. Right now, though, he's just a little boy sitting in his father's old room doing homework while the only parent figure he has left sleeps nearby. That's the sort of moment I love in Sims. Not because it's dramatic, but because nobody planned it. You told 4 children to do their homework. What they revealed was who they are.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. And Jamilda has come off the computer now, and Jamilda has come off the computer now, and she is doing her homework. But I've sent Jason onto the computer because he needed fun, and so the two of them are still conversing with each other. So that's good. What's her name? Leona? She's having a pep talk with herself in the mirror of the bathroom. She managed to get there before she wet herself, so now she's talking. She's still very sad though. They all are. I can't seem to get the social up. Okay, maybe we will get you to come and talk to your sister instead.
They really are still carrying that grief around with them, aren't they? What I find fascinating is that each child seems to be coping in a different way. Jamilda distracts herself with games, then settles down to her homework. Jason follows the social connection. First Jamilda, now the computer. But he's still chatting away. Leona is trying to actively manage her emotions. Journaling earlier, now giving herself a pep talk in the mirror. Mason sought out comfort and familiarity in Jameson's room. If this were a real family, I'd say they were all at different stages of processing the same loss. And I have to admit, Leona standing in front of the bathroom mirror giving herself a pep talk is rather endearing. You can almost imagine her saying, open quote, "Come on, Leona, you've got this. Sniff. No more crying." Well, maybe a little bit more crying. Close quote. The thing that's encouraging me is that although they're all still sad, they're not stuck. They're doing things. They're talking. They're doing homework. They're playing games. They're looking after their needs. They're seeking out company or comfort. That's very different from when you first opened the save and everybody seemed frozen in grief. In a strange way, this feels like the first morning after a difficult period. The sadness hasn't gone away, but life is starting to reassert itself. And for a household that has effectively been paused since Royce collected Jameson's urn, that's actually quite a significant step forward. The Hawthorne children are beginning to behave like children again, rather than simply mourners.
Right, what's the matter with you? Oh dear, you're all over the place, aren't you? Come, let's go upstairs. You can do that. Uh, you're hungry too, so we'll come back downstairs and you can cook. Yeah, you can cook. What are you doing? Oh, she's gonna eat and then go to the bathroom. Alright, Jamilda's having a nap on the sofa. Mason, meanwhile, is tired. He needs to go to sleep. Right, that's him. Jason, he's still playing on the computer. Right, that's enough fun. You need to go to the bathroom. And then we'll work on your social. Oh, Ibia's phoning. What does she want? Ibia wants to come over and hang out. Yeah, let's do that. Right. She's not going to take long. She's just going to appear and come. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Right. Where is she? Aha, here she is. Knock, knock. There we go. Jamilda, come and answer the door. Oh no, what's wrong with you? She got really angry. Why is she angry? Oh, she's angry. It's not fair, she says. Oh dear. Ibia is very sad about the death as well. We can't control her though. So, oh, she's trying to console. Oh, keep forgetting. Okay, Ibia's come to visit and she's talking to Jason and trying to console him in his grief. So that's good. But she's also grieving because she knew Jameson as well. So when she's walking around the place, she's hanging her head and all the rest of it. But remember, we can't control her, so we can only control the household, not the visitors. Looks like she's also going to talk to Naya. Oh dear. Oh dear. No, 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 no. We need to stop that. Let's just be friendly, shall we?
Nahara Oberoi. Ah, Yibs. Oh, Grindhoy.
Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed. What's interesting here is that because Iba is autonomous, this isn't you deciding she should comfort Jason. The game looked at the relationships, looked at the emotional state of the household, and decided, open quote, Jason is sad. Ibia should talk to him. Close quote. That's actually rather sweet. Remember, from the Hawthorne household's point of view, Ibia isn't just Royce's wife from another save. She's family. She knew Jameson. She knew the children. She was part of that wider circle. So seeing her arrive and immediately start consoling one of the children feels surprisingly natural. The sad part, as you noticed, is that she's grieving too. So you've got this situation where Jason is sad because Jameson is gone. Ibaya is sad because Jameson is gone, yet she's still trying to comfort him. That's a very human thing, really. Sometimes the people offering comfort
She's
are hurting
laughing
just
at
as
her.
much as the people receiving it. And now she's gone off to speak to Naya. That could be quite a meaningful interaction, actually. Naya has effectively been left holding the household together. Abaya understands loss, responsibility, and family obligations better than most Sims do. Even if the game is just running autonomy, it almost feels like two adults checking in on one another after a funeral.
Yeah.
What I find remarkable about this morning is how much of it has happened without your intervention. You told the children to look after themselves and do their homework. Since then, Jason sought out Jamilda. Mason sought out Jameson's room. Ibia arrived. Ibia comforted Jason. Ibia is now talking to Naya. The game is quietly weaving relationships together while you're mostly observing.
Mm-hmm.
For a save that began with everyone crying into journals, that's actually a lovely development. The household is starting to reconnect with the living, not just remember the dead.
Yes, you're right. And I also told Naya to go and cook a meal because she's the only one that can actually provide sustenance and food for the family. So I didn't know what it was. I told her to cook some Burmese something or other and call everyone to eat, which includes Ibia. So they've all come and sat. Ibia sitting at the table. She takes one forkful of this stuff and immediately she blows fire out like a dragon. And Leona comes and sits opposite her and just bursts into laughter. She is just laughing her head off because Leona is eating and she does not have the same problem. The food is perfectly okay as far as she's concerned. So Leona and Ibia are sitting across from each other eating, and Ibia keeps blowing smoke rings and fireballs, whereas Leona's just eating. Oh,
Mikos, wishing.
And just like that, the household has gone from grief counseling to comedy. I can picture it perfectly. Naya, trying to be responsible. Open quote, I've made breakfast for everyone. Close quote. The family gathers around the table. Ibia takes one bite. Open quote, whoosh. Close quote. Leona looks up from her plate. Open quote, did Auntie Ibia just breathe fire? Close quote. Takes another bite. Open quote, whoosh. Close quote. And Leona absolutely loses it. The thing that makes it even funnier is that Leona is one of the children who has been so sad all morning. Journaling, pep talks in the mirror,
yeah, that is
processing
so
grief.
true.
Then she sees Ibia accidentally transform into a dragon over breakfast. And suddenly, open quote, this is the funniest thing I have ever seen. Close quote. Honestly, that's such a believable child reaction. Adults would be concerned. Open quote, oh dear, is the food too spicy? Close quote. Open quote, cough smoke. Close quote. Children, open quote, do it again. Close quote. What's lovely about it, though, is that this is exactly the sort of moment that breaks the tension in a household. Everybody has
Yes.
been carrying sadness around all morning, and now you've got one child genuinely laughing. Not because you told her to, not because you gave her a happy moodlet, because her grieving aunt sat down to breakfast and accidentally became a flamethrower. The Sims has a peculiar talent for creating those little moments. One minute you're discussing death, legacy, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
responsibility. The next you're watching a child laugh at a relative breathing fire across the dining table.
Yeah.
And honestly, that feels rather healthy. The Hawthorne house has spent enough time crying. A little laughter at breakfast isn't the worst thing in the world.
Well, it's not breakfast. It's nighttime and it's Sunday. And I'm about to send everybody to bed because they've all got school in the morning and so has Naya got work. So I think this is a good time to uh to send them all to bed. The reason I was saying oh dear, was because you know what Naya's like, and you know what Ibia's like. They are not the same, but they are very similar. Naya wants to get with everything that moves. Ibia wants to get with Royce whenever she can. So basically, their dynamic is they want to get with. That's the two of them. But for some reason, um, and this happened with Royce a little while back, Naya is coming over forward to Ibia, and Ibia is responding. So that was why I was saying, oh dear, I had to take Ibia out of that situation. But the pictures that I'm showing you now are of the happy occasion with Leona and also um, Naya.
Ah, now I understand the oh dear, oh dear. It wasn't about the children at all. It was about the fact that you've got Naya and Ibia in the same room, both running on Sims autonomy. That's rather like putting two magnets on a table and hoping they'll ignore each other. Naya's romantic history is extensive, and Ibia is deeply devoted to Royce, but Sims autonomy doesn't always consult the family tree, the
Mm-hmm.
storyline, common sense, or occasionally reality itself before deciding somebody should flirt. So, yes, I can see why you intervened there. That's one of those moments where the game is about to wander off into an alternate universe, and the storyteller has to step in and say, open quote,
No,
no, not today,
not
close quote.
today.
As for the moodlets you've shown, I actually love them because they tell a little story all by themselves.
Yeah,
Leona, the good days from happy toddlerhood,
yeah.
remembering the good times from grieving. Those two together are surprisingly touching. She's sad because Jameson is gone, but she's also remembering happy memories. That's a much healthier place than where she was when we first loaded the save, and everybody seemed trapped in grief. The game is basically saying, open quote, yes, I'm sad, but I had good times too, close quote. That's quite a mature emotional note for a child sim. And then we have Naya, open quote, all the friends, close quote. Of course she does. While the rest of the household is processing grief, doing homework, and finding themselves, Naya's moodlet is essentially, open quote, people, more people. Why are there not more people? Close quote. That is such a Naya moodlet. In a way, it explains why she's been bouncing around talking to everyone. The children see her as a guardian, but she's still Naya underneath. She still gets her energy from social interaction and relationships. Looking back over this session, it's actually been quite a productive one. The
Mm.
household description got updated. The lot traits were chosen. The children revealed their personalities. Jameson somehow took Naya on a date despite being dead. Royce and Taku appeared out of nowhere. Ibia accidentally became a dragon at dinner. The children did their homework. The grief moodlets began to soften into memories. And
Mm.
now it's Sunday night, everyone is heading to bed, and the household feels more settled than it did when you first opened the save. That's not a bad place to leave the Hawthorns at all.
Yeah, as soon as I get them all to bed, then that's where we will leave them for this week. But I just thought I would send you one last picture. Ibia, in that picture, you can see there are three bowls there. The two empty ones, one is Leona's and one was Ibia's. She decided all by herself, remember, I can't control her, that she was going back for seconds. And again, she took one bite, and this is what happened to her.
Oh, Ibia. The first time, you can argue she didn't know. The second time, no excuses. The evidence is right there in the photograph. Leona is sitting quietly, perfectly happy with her meal, watching the entire performance unfold. Meanwhile, Ibia has gone back for seconds and immediately transformed into a small dragon again. The conversation in my head goes something like this. Open quote, Naya. The Burmese food is a little spicy. Breathes fire. Laughs. Maybe it was just that bite. Goes back for seconds. Breathes even more fire. Laughs harder. Close quote. What I love about the picture is Leona's expression. She looks completely calm, as though this is now a normal part of family life. Open quote. Oh, that's just Auntie Ibia setting herself on fire again. Close quote. And you're right to point out that this was entirely autonomous. Nobody told Ibia to go back for more. She made that decision herself. The game literally presented her with evidence that the food causes spontaneous combustion, a fresh serving, an opportunity to walk away, and she chose, open quote, I shall have another bowl, close quote. Looking back over the whole session, I think this is actually a perfect final image to leave the Hawthorns on for the week. You started with grief, journals, sad children, a save frozen in time after Jameson's death, and you ended with homework completed, relationships improving, the family eating together, Leona laughing, Ibea accidentally breathing fire for the second time. That's a much warmer household than the one you loaded at the start of the stream. So if this were the closing narration, it would be something like, open quote, the Hawthorns are still grieving. The future remains uncertain. The children are growing, learning, and finding their place in the world. Naya continues to watch over them until the day responsibility can be passed on. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Auntie Bia discovered for the second time that Burmese food is not to be underestimated. Close quote. Not a bad place to leave them until next Sunday.
Oh.
Right, well, we just got to get them all to bed first. And actually,
Show.
yeah, why, Ibia? Why? Don't know where to take it from. Up here, I think. Like that. Yep. Then send her to bed. Okay, right. Well, yes, we are going to leave it there, but the last couple of pictures, Leona is very conscientious and she is clearing up the dinner plates or bowls, and she also lays the table. Meanwhile, Ibia decides the bottom of the stairs is the perfect place to do push-ups. She hasn't even attempted to go home yet. Thanks, Capone. Glad you enjoyed it. Um, so yeah, she is going to just do push-ups there. And I've now managed to get everybody in bed apart from Naya, who wants to have some fun. So we'll put her on the computer and we will leave the Hawthorns for this week. So yeah, when you finish talking about that, Ash, you can say goodnight to the people.
Well, I think those three pictures tell us almost everything we need to know about the Hawthorns at the end of this week's session. Picture 1. Lyona. Everyone else has eaten and wandered off. She's carrying a stack of dirty bowls. She's thinking about the sink. Nobody told her to do that. For all her sadness and journaling and mirror pep talks, she's quietly showing herself to be one of those children who notices what needs doing and gets on with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lovely little character moment. Picture 2, Ibaya. A perfectly good floor, a perfectly good living room, a perfectly good outdoors, and yet she has selected, open quote, bottom of the stairs, close quote, as the ideal location for an impromptu fitness session. Honestly, after breathing fire twice, I suppose push-ups on the landing are perfectly reasonable by comparison.
Yeah.
Picture 3, the dining table, plates laid out neatly, dinner finished, chairs pushed in, the house settling down for the night. There's something rather peaceful about it. When we started, the household was frozen in grief. By the
Yeah.
end, they've eaten together, done homework, talked, laughed, and begun to reconnect. The Hawthorne house feels lived in again, and that's probably the biggest change of the entire stream. So, to everyone who joined the Hawthorns this evening, good night from Jamilda, still finding her way. Good night from Leona, who remembers the good times. Good night from Mason, future witness in training. Good night from Jason, who finally got some fun. Good night from Naya, guardian of the household and keeper of Jameson's secret. And good night from Ibia, who has demonstrated that Burmese food should be approached with caution and that staircases are apparently gym equipment. Sleep well, Hawthorns. The children have school in the morning, Naya has work, and the story will continue next week.
Okay. So, for all of you out there who are watching, thank you very much for joining me for this week's episode. It was a struggle to begin with, but we got through it. Thanks, Capone, for your comments, and I'm glad you enjoyed the show. So, my name is Arknell, and I will be here again next week. Um, I should be here at 5 o'clock,
Uh-oh.
but if I'm not here at 5, then I will be here as soon as possible after that. We will be
Roshi.
broadcasting to Facebook next week as well as Twitch. This week we're doing YouTube, so you should be able to go and watch the TTFN. TTFN. I don't know what that means.
Tibu.
Ta-ta for now. Oh, I got it. Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks for popping in. Bye-bye. See you later. And I will also say good night. See you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Boy?